we can all agree onto something, and that is paper has been stealing our money, our time, and from the environment. We are going to talk about the end. Now, I didn't mean to scare you there or something, but we're not going to talk about a bad end. In fact, we are going to talk about a good end, a fantastic end, an end that's going to determine a better future. Now let's switch our gears to the business world. What is starting with an end in mind in business terms? Well, is it the end of your business? Alright, as people from the digital era, we can all agree onto something, and that is paper has been stealing our money, our time, and from the environment. Hello beautiful people from all around the world. How's it going? How's it been? How's life treating you? Well, I can't really hear you from all over there, so I hope everything is going great. Now you must be wondering, what am I doing here greeting you in front of your screens? Well, we are going to talk about the end. Now, I didn't mean to scare you there or something, but we're not going to talk about a bad end. In fact, we are going to talk about a good end, a fantastic end, an end that's going to determine a better future. Now, imagine if I wake up this morning and I did not know what I'm going to do next or where am I going to go now. Well, in that case, I would either be still sitting on my bed and staring at my ceiling wall, or I would either be stuck on the road without knowing where I'm going to go next. But what if I knew what I'm going to do exactly and where am I going to go? See, that's exactly what we are talking about, starting with an end in mind. Do you hear the sound of the rain? Well, me too, because of course it's raining here. But you know what? Let's get back to the story. Now let's switch our gears to the business world. What is starting with an end in mind in business terms? Well, is it the end of your business? Haha, no. Then what is it? Well, imagine yourself preparing an agreement right now. So what do you need? The approvals? You got it. The people who has to sign it has already signed it. And now what? All you have to do now is store that document. Do you think the job is done right there? Well, here's the catch. The document or the agreement that you're going to store in today should be accessible and usable in the next 10 to 20 years. Now, you might be wondering, is it possible? Well, I'll tell you what. It is possible, but only if you take the right decision today. So, what is this right decision that we are talking about? Well, that is digital transformation. So now you must be wondering, what is digital transformation? Well, let me tell you what. Let's talk about not just digital transformation, but also what is holding us back from it. Well, when I say digital transformation, if you're thinking some fancy tools, then let me stop you a little bit there and correct you. Well, you know what? Digital transformation is not just about acquiring some fancy little tools and asking everyone to accommodate to it. Because it is not just about fancy tools, it's about a complete change in your mindset. Well, what is this mindset change we are suddenly talking about? But you know what? Before talking about that, let's talk about what's holding us back. Any guesses? Well, you know what? I'll give you a little bit of a clue. We did talk about it at the very beginning of this video. And yes, you are right. It is papers. So you see, when you do your work processes in the form of paper, it can not only cause you a lot of trouble, but definitely hold you back from your digital transformation journey. Now here's the thing. Let's get back to the scenario that we were just discussing about. Imagine producing that specific agreement in its digital format and in its paper format. So you see, when you're preparing that agreement we were talking about in its digital form, you don't have to worry about accessing it or using it even in the next 50 years. Because you know what? When it is stored in its digital format, it will be secure and also available in its very original form even if you want to access it years later. But you know what? when you make that same agreement in its paper form, I can't make any promises, of course. You may or may not be able to use it and access it, because you know what? Of course, an agreement that's made today with paper, if you want to access it, let's say even in the next 10 to 20 years, it may be lost, it may be torn, it may be damaged, and even eaten by the moths. So you definitely see the problem that we are talking about, right? And also, here's a fact. Paper has never really been secure and also has never been a friend of the environment too. Because you know what? Millions and millions of trees are cut down annually to produce paper that ends up in your office spaces and get wasted away. Now I'll tell you the very reason why I'm sitting right here in front of you. Welcome to the brand new series of the Paperless Chat, where we will be bringing in industry experts from every corner of the business to talk about their digital transformation journey. Now remember, these are the people who has been there struggling with papers, and once embracing the digital transformation journey, they have completely switched their business to thrive in this digital era. So you will be hearing straight from our expert how did they discover the digitalization journey, what was the troubles they were facing when they were handling papers, and all the industry tea and some fun and entertaining stories. And at the same time, we will also be having a lot of fun and entertainment too. So if you're talking about SpongeBob, how can we ignore the SquarePants? Which means that we will not just be talking about digitization, but of course the talk of the town, which is AI. So people, if you're here for education, good. If you're here for entertainment, great. And if you're here for both, then fantastic, because you're here to witness something awesome.